They built shrines for themselves in all their settlements, from watchtower to fortified city. They set up for themselves sacred pillars and sacred poles on every high hill, and under every spreading tree, and burnt offerings at all the shrines there, as the nations did whom the Lord had displaced before them. So he's talking about after he displaced all the nations, like we are displaced right now living in America. We're displaced from the promised land, which that's what the millennial reign is about us going back to the promised land. By this wickedness of theirs they provoked the Lord's anger. They worshipped idols, a thing which the Lord had forbidden them to do. Still the Lord solemnly charged Israel and Judah by every prophet and seer. So he uses his prophets and his seers to charge the people, saying, "Give up your evil ways, keep my commandments and statutes given in all the law which I enjoined on your forefathers and delivered to you through my servants the prophets." That now translates to the 10 Commandments. 10 Commandments plus 2, love God with all your being and love the brethren. They would not listen, however, but were as stubborn and rebellious as their forefathers had been. For they too refused to put their trust in the Lord their God. They rejected his statutes and the covenant which he had made with their forefathers, and the solemn warnings which he had given to them. Like, don't, like Paul says, don't drink blood. Don't eat the blood of an animal. That's part of the covenant. Following worthless idols, they became worthless themselves and imitated the nations round about them, which the Lord had forbidden them to do, forsaking every commandment of the Lord their God. They made themselves images, 2 calves cast of metal, and also a sacred pole. Now, you guys, when you have a, think about it. When you have a bad day or have a negative encounter with somebody and makes you have a bad day, go back and look in the past and look into every one of those situations, whatever ones you can remember, and ask yourself this: could you have diffused that that argument, that negative situation, negative encounter? Could you have diffused that yourself by dying to your flesh and becoming humble and taking the abuse upon yourself just for the sake of peace? This is what we are called to do as Christians, as followers of Jesus Christ. And if you think or say anything against this, you do not understand the scriptures in what Jesus was saying.